I have so many physical books that I have not read. I think I have over 670 something books and I've only read like 64 books. I want to make that number a little bit higher, and that is why I decided to have this 50 book title TBR jar for 2026. And out of the 50 books, these are the top 10 books that I definitely would love to read this year, and I'm gonna share all about it with you in today's video. So let's just go with the very first book that I have in my book stack, and it is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel like anytime I watch a video of people sharing the book that they highly recommend, the book that are 5-star, the book that are like 6-star reads, or when they're ranking their books that they read that year, this book is almost always in that list. And honestly, I was just curious and feeling a little left out that I haven't read it, so I decided that this book is gonna be one of the books that I will definitely read this year. And I actually just read this probably a couple days ago. This is the first book that I read in 2026, and I have to say I agree with most people. I rated this book 5-star. This book was actually taking me in like a pretty emotional roller coaster, because there are some characters in this book that are kind of annoying in my opinion, and I don't know why Evelyn Hugo, the main character of this book, is kind of like still friends with these people basically. But anyways, if you don't know or never heard of the synopsis of this book, this is basically about Evelyn Hugo, which is a Hollywood movie star back in the 50s. I think that is around when she started appearing in some of these Hollywood movies. And of course, the 7 husbands that come with her life and her story basically. And she is now ready to tell somebody about her life story, and she decided to pick Monique, who is a journalist, but she is kind of like a nobody. She just started at this magazine, and basically Evelyn was telling this magazine, it's Monique or you're not gonna get anything out of me. So throughout the book, we're also trying to figure out like, why is Evelyn Hugo pick Monique? Like, what is their relation? For me, I was just thinking like, are they kind of related somehow? Like, is Monique maybe like the unknown granddaughter of Evelyn Hugo? Like, how did Evelyn Hugo decided to pick Monique? Basically, those are kind of like some of the questions that linger through my mind whenever I was reading this book. The ending was kind of unexpected for me. The writing is just really great. I feel like if you love Taylor Jenkins Reid writing and her other books, you probably will love this as well. And I'm kind of happy that I was able to actually mark this off as read this year. The next book that I definitely would love to read this year before the movie adaptation comes out, I think in March or April. I don't know if I'm gonna read it before then. Anyways, it is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I'm hoping that I'm saying the author's last name correctly. Everybody and their mothers have been talking about this book and the upcoming movie adaptation the past, I don't know, few months I think, and I just feel left out that I have never read any book by Andy Weir, and also because it is sci-fi and I don't even think I have any other sci-fi books in my personal collection. But because everybody said that this book is really good and that they cannot wait until the movie comes out, I just feel like I have to hopefully read this book before the movie comes out, if not read it sometime this year. But if you've never heard of this book, it's about an astronaut who I think woke up inside like a spaceship on the way to space from Earth, I believe, and then he was just by himself. And I'm pretty sure he also see a couple other like crewmates that have died or something like that in this ship. He kind of have to figure out like, what is he doing and what is his mission? Like, why is he leaving Earth and going to space? And I feel like there's also things that he might not know, or seems like he doesn't know anything, but I think he knows something, or he remembers some things. So I cannot wait to read this book. I have no idea what I expect it would be like. I'm hoping that I would love it. From the people that have read this book, they were saying that this book is kind of funny as well, so I'm hoping that that will kind of help me get into this sci-fi book easier, because like I said, I've never read any sci-fi book before, but for sure this is on my top book that I want to read in 2026. The next book that I would love to read this year is Margot's Got Money Troubles by Rufi Thorpe. This is also another book that is gonna be adapted to a movie. I'm pretty sure sometime soon. The main character, Margot, is gonna be played by Elle Fanning. So I think it's gonna be very interesting. This one is about Margot, who actually got pregnant because she had a relationship with a professor from her community college, I believe. Even though a lot of people are advising against having this baby, she decided to have the baby anyway. So in the midst of all of these, her estranged father actually came back to her life and offered to help her with taking care of the baby, just kind of to make up for the time that he wasn't there for her, I think. She also got into, I think, OnlyFans to make some money for her family. And I know that there's some things that happen also in Vegas because I saw pictures of the filming in like the downtown Vegas area. So I'm kind of curious how she ended up in Vegas as well. I'm excited to read this book, and if you have read this book, let me know in the comment below what you thought about this one. So the next book that I am dying to read is The Husbands by Holly Gramazio, I believe. I have heard about this book, I think, since the beginning of 2025, and I think the premise is really unique. And at the time, only the hardcover book was out, and the paperback, this one, is not available just yet. But for some reason, I actually got sent this book by the publisher, I believe. And then it also came with like this other kind of like activity. I'm not really sure if I won it from a giveaway. I probably did, now that I think about it. But anyways, I'm happy that I have a copy of this book. But this one is about Lauren. She went home one night, and when she opened her door, she was greeted by someone, and apparently that someone is her husband. With this husband, her life altered a little bit because the people that is close to her know that she's been married to this guy, which was kind of bizarre for her. And this husband decided to go up to the attic to fix a light bulb, and when somebody came out of the attic, it was a different husband. So I'm not sure how often Lauren got like a new husband because the current husband went up the attic, but I just want to find out what is happening. I just love that it has some type of magical realism in it, and I want to find out, of course, how did this happen and what is gonna be the ending. Like, is he gonna end up with a bunch of husbands, just like, you know, the cover, or if there's gonna be, you know, one husband left for her, or if she even gonna go back to her old life where she was still single and not married and not have like a new husband, I don't know, every single day. So I'm just really curious. Again, let me know in the comment below if you have read this book and if you like it. The next book, I think this is gonna be book number 5. This is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Like I said in some previous videos, everybody who have read this book have talked about it highly, have rated them highly, and I feel left out again because I haven't read this book, even though I've had this book probably for about a year now. If you have never heard of this book before, Addie basically made a deal. I don't know if it's with the devil or with somebody. Basically, she wants to live forever, and that person that she made the deal with agreed to grant that for her, but then in exchange, everyone that she met throughout her life is going to forget her instantly when like she walk away. And this happened for over 300 years. And of course, that is just not a life that she wants to live. Like, basically, she was kind of being scammed, I think, by this person that she made a deal with. But one day, she actually met someone who remembers her, which is kind of odd because, you know, the deal was that she can live forever, but everyone's gonna forget all about her. So I'm just curious, like, how did this one person remember her? How are they kind of like related? I'm thinking that maybe that person is having the same deal or did the same deal with the person that Addie made the deal with. I'm not sure, but I want to find out about it. The next book that I want to read this year is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, I think. I'm just super late to read Twilight because obviously this came out probably like 25 years ago. I'm not really sure. Okay, 2005, I think. So that is 21 years ago, which is crazy. I was 15 when this book came out, and I remember a few of like people that I know actually was reading this book, was really into the book series, and of course the movie after that, but I never really got into it. And apparently my sister, who doesn't really read, actually read this when she was in high school. And I was like, how did you read this? And she was like, the library at our school. I did not know that. And she was telling me that the book is way better than the movies, because I feel like I watch clips of the movies here and there, like on Instagram and TikTok, and I don't know if I would actually like the movies, but I would like to try to read at least the first book and see it for myself, read it for myself, see if it's actually any good. And I'm hoping that I can start the series this year. I'm pretty sure I have all of the books in the Twilight Saga, so if I do love it, all of the books are ready for me to get into next. So the next book that I would love to read this year is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. Again, I've heard so many great things about this book and about the book series in general, and I would love to start at least the first book this year because I have book 1 to 3. I know that the 4th book is supposed to come out, I believe, sometime this year, maybe in the summer. So I'm hoping that if I am able to read the first book, then I will definitely pre-order or order the 4th book so I can have all of the books already when I am ready to continue on with the series. And also I have this pretty edition, and all of the books that I have, book 2 and 3, also have this pretty sprayed edge edition. This one I believe is about Diem. She lives in a mortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the Descended, their cruel, magical offspring. With her mother's sudden disappearance and the discovery of a dangerous secret about her past, Diem basically got this opportunity to enter the dark world of the Descended royalty and unlock the web of mysteries her mother left behind. Honestly, I'm not really sure what the whole plot of this series is, but I cannot wait to find out all about it when I finally read the first book. Another book that I feel like is pretty popular and people are kind of like half and half about this book, like their opinion, whether they like or dislike them, and it is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I actually believe that I bought the first 2 books in the beginning of the year because Barnes & Noble were having a huge sale. I think 2 books was supposed to be like $40 something, and then it was like 50% off. So I got this book for like about $10. There are 2 extra novella that I also already have just because Barnes & Noble were having sale, like, I don't know, last year. But basically this one is about, what is her name? Payton. I think she was technically born ordinary, but she is hiding around the elites who actually have like magical powers. And I think she was invited to go into this competition only for the elites. So I'm not really sure if she's gonna be discovered by people because she doesn't have any power, or maybe she will gain power somehow. I don't know. Like I said, I'm curious about this whole trilogy or saga, I guess, now that it has like 2 extra novellas. And again, let me know in the comment below if you guys have read this book or this whole book series. So the next book I know has so many different like controversy, I guess, and because this is one of the most popular book series in the bookish community, honestly I just want to read it for myself because I have never read it before when it was first published and when it was pretty popular. But anyways, that book is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I have all of the books in this series, I think book 1 through 4 or 5, and I know that she just finished writing the next book that is supposed to come out. So we shall see if I will read that next book. I'm just gonna try to read the first book first in 2026, hoping that if I would like it, I will definitely continue with the series. But like I said, there's just so many different things that are happening, and honestly, like I said, I just want to read this book for myself because it was popular back then. I feel like it's still popular right now, but because I've never read it before, I just want to see what the hype is all about. Last but not least, I really wanted to try to read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Actually, this book is in my January 2026 TBR, but honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. I feel like right now, because I didn't really start the new year with a bang, I was sick after like Christmas, and I think I was sick for like, I want to say 2 or 2.5 weeks. I just didn't really feel like reading so much. I've only read one book this month. Let's see if I even get to pick this up maybe in January, but I definitely want to start reading the Empyrean series because I, of course, have all of the books in the series that are out. I have Fort Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm already, so I feel like I need to read the book. I need to start the series at least because, again, this is one of the more popular series I think in the past year or so, because Onyx Storm came out last year in 2025 and everybody and their mother was trying to get the special edition everywhere. I've even seen people sold the special editions on eBay for like, I don't know, a crazy amount of money. I feel like it was just a huge deal. So I, again, feel left out that I haven't even read the first one. So I definitely would try my best to at least read the first book in 2026. Those are all of the top 10 books that I definitely would love to try my best to read in 2026. Who knows if I'm gonna be in the mood to read any of these books, but again, let me know in the comment below if you guys have read any of these books, and let me know which one I should start with, because there's too much options.